Okay, so today I'm going to do something I've never done before and include a build video on my YouTube channel. So this build is going to be pretty common out there today. I assume people are using it more and more often, even though it's not as unique as one would think. It's going to be ubiquitous through Cyrodiil shortly if you're not running a Magtune with Dark Convergence or a Warden with the Rothgar. You want to play a Stamblade, stand-up fight Stamblade, not a true ganker, but a actual stand-in fighter, fighting Stamblade. So, obviously we're a Khajiit, and we're running the Thief. We need this Thief for the extra crit. Used to run the Shadow prior to this patch, but the gear change and the update requires me to run the Thief. But you do get the 12% crit damage that you got from the Shadow for wearing the medium armor. I'm in 6 medium, 1 heavy. The stamina is 64 into stamina, and as you can see, I still have 31.1 or 31,153,000 health. The recoveries look a little low, but they definitely did something to sustain in the last patch. I'm not 100% sure what it is. And that physical penetration of 12,000 does go up from the Nightblade passive. As you can see, I have 37.9% crit, which goes up because of being a Nightblade. 17,000 resistances, which do go up when you use Surprise Attack or Cloak to the 23 range. You're sitting just under 50,000 resistances, which gives you a better Rothgar defense. You got to keep your resistances kind of in a sweet spot in this patch. Crit resist, I've chosen to not invest in crit resist. If I'm going to get crit, I'm going to get crit. Even if I were to add, say, another 800-900 crit resist, I'm still going to take a lot of crit damage. And therefore, I'm wasting offense and or other aspects of defense trying to counteract the critical attacks. Magic is not too bad, 17,000. Not bad at all, actually. And you can see my stamina is at 25,000, but you don't need stamina on a stam character. It's just how it's been for several patches. So, running a Rothgar Maul. I am sharpened, and as you can tell by the amount of penetration, I'm running Heartlands with it. The poison I use is immobilizations. It breaks me free, also 4 seconds of immobilize on them, which is an opportunity to proc Rothgar if they have stun immunity. So the Rothgar Maul, backbarring a bow of Potentate's defending with the weapon damage enchant, just to give me that little buff from the light attack. Gaze of Sithis, the worst possible mythic to farm, and the armor is nice. It's how you get those decent mid-range resistances. The health recovery, forget about it, but the extra health is why we're sitting at 31,000 in a medium armor Stamblade. It's very good. I don't purple everything out because, or purple everything, don't gold it because it's expensive and who knows when these things will get nerfed. I've golded out several different sets over the years, and now I can have New Moon jewelry, which I golded myself. Can't even wear it anymore. Heartlands, obviously, you get the increase. So, because I'm trying to run a high percentage of crit, you're on a Stamblade, you want that crit. You're going to be the one doing crit as well. So I am running a one-piece Slime Craw. That 744 crit is the best you're going to get. You go for another 124 damage with a Balorg or something like that, but personally, the Slime Craw is where I find the sweet spot. I am running the 3 pieces of Hrothgar jewelry infused with weapon damage enchants. No recovery. Once again, the Mundus is the thief. So, when you buff up, no continuous, no bow proc weapon damage. You're sitting at 4,800 weapon damage, but I have seen With the bow enchant proc and continuous, this gets to 6,000 weapon damage and a little bit of change, 6,049-ish. So for the skills, I am running Ambush. You need that gap closer. It also increases the damage they take by 5%. And powers that light attack. So you ambush in, light attack, surprise attack. That is the combo. Camouflage Hunter. Give you the Minor Berserk for flank crit. Also, you get the Major Savagery, which, once again, crit is important on a Stamblade. Rally, Obby. Surprise attack, also Obby. Now you can run Execute here. You don't have to run Relentless Focus. But I've found that people try to run away from you as opposed to fight you all the time. So having a ranged Execute, essentially, because you can't build it up with the bow on the back bar to have it ready for you, seems to be the most efficient way to get the kills. In-cap misses way too often. In-cap is absolutely worthless. I want that 20% additional damage that you get from in-cap for 6 seconds, but because it's a single target ultimate, and you're running Rothgar, and it misses all the time, Dawnbreaker also misses, but I prefer the Dawnbreaker just simply because I can hit a group with Dawnbreaker, proc the Rothgar, and attack the lowest health guy, get that kill, get in, get out. The back bar. Now, I used to run the Master's Bow before this patch. I had to switch to Potentates because I'm looking to run Leeching Strikes because the Poison Inject just would be incredibly nice to have that extra damage from the Master's Bow. But because there's something done to sustain, I need the Leeching Strikes to stay in it. I also used to run Elude, because I run Race Against Time for Break Free, to give me a 20% mitigation to bombers and so forth. But I removed Elude and put on Blinding Flare, simply because I get the major protection. So instead of 20% mitigation to AoE, I get 10% mitigation to AoE, single target, dots, you name it. This is the right move to put there. Cloak, Obvi. Vigor, Obvi, and Race Against Time to increase your crit damage by 10%, break you free, and give you that speed boost. In fact, the Dark Convergence, what I found the best way to handle it is, because I'm wearing Gaze of Sithis and cannot block, is to roll dodge, hit my Race Against Time, which breaks me free of the snare, and get the hell out of there. It works really good. You can run a multitude. Ballista's really nice. You can run Soul Tether if you're not, into the Soul Siphon move. I like Soul Siphon. Gives me an oh shit heal. Also gives me the ability to heal group members or randos if I so see fit. And also running this and siphoning attacks gives me a lot of magic on the back bar, where the two magic moves that I use are everything up here, obviously stand. The champion point tree. Now this one is the most important thing. On a Stamblade, you have to be running sustaining shadows. Anything else you run, I prefer to run Steed's Blessing simply because its auto combat movement speed is great. And then of course these two passes, Fleet Phantom and Out of Sight, which are great. I do have these two, so I am running Warmount, Gifted Rider, Steed's Blessing, Sustaining Shadows. So I am running the two mount moves. You could run Liquid Efficiency, which is a really good passive, but I don't need it on this. I just make my pots and rock and roll. So on here, I'm a damage build. I win all damage, no defense. Most of the people in this game right now are running these two passives and or I think it's called Ironclad now. Ironclad's up in here where you reduce damage. A lot of people are running those. They want to mitigate as much damage as they possibly can. They run together in a group. A lot of DKs run together in a group with all the damage mitigation, and then, Dragon Leap one guy, the XV1ers as I call them. But as I'm trying to kill, not run, not kite, not hide, not XV1, I want to 1VX or 2VX. I'm running the Backstabber. Once again, critical damage. Fighting Finesse, critical damage. Deadly Aim for your surprise attack. And Master at Arms. So, that's what you do on the Stamblade. Now, to make up for the fact that I need defense, I am running Celerity. Movement speed is the #1 way to survive in PvP, and it's actually a little broken right now. Movement speed is a lag issue. If someone's wearing the speed ring running this and have a bunch of swift jewelry, you're going to have a really hard time catching them. Even an ambush to that person, their speed will create distance enough so that the light attack that you combine with it won't even hit. So Celerity, I think, is OP. Now, Pain's Refuge is probably the most broken passive in the champion tree right now. It's 20% damage mitigation maximum, 1% per negative effect. So when you're getting outnumbered, you're getting pulled into a dark convergence, you do that roll dodge into a race against time, you're going to take an incredible amount of damage mitigation from the Pain's Refuge. I also run Juggernaut, which is a 5% damage mitigation. And then Boundless Vitality, because I wanted to go into the resistances, but with Hrothgar being a thing, I had decided that the extra health would be more beneficial. Any potions that you want to run are fine. Typically what I like to use is tripods are amazing. The tripods give you everything back. I also like to use, which I gotta go make more of, are these immovable stealth detection staminas to fight other Nightblades, since I don't run Pierce Mark. These are kind of expensive. They are Chineris eggs, which are a new regent, mixed with Wormwood and Columbine. I also, since God knows how long years ago, run these on my character. Every single character that I play has these on them. They are the Essence of Invisibility, where you vanish for 15 seconds, allowing you to escape without using your magic and cloak, restoring the health, and giving you a little health dot, like a tiny little mini vigor. These are very nice too. Any type of speed pots that you can use come in handy. Here's my other speed pots. I gotta go make pots today. And then the Alliance Battle Drought is kind of my backup. I really just need the stam back typically. I'm not trying to heal myself with potions. I'm trying to heal myself with vigor, even though the heals are definitely nerfed. And then the food is Orzaga Smoke Bear Hunch, the extra health, and then the 3 recoveries. I could care less about the health recovery, but keeping the magic recovery as high as you can, which my food just ran out. So with a rally, you can see I get to almost 1500 stam recovery, and I've got 1100 magic recovery. So that helps with keeping cloak going. And that's basically it. Oh, one more thing. You want to keep your vampire at stage 2 to give you that other extra damage. In fact, that's the reason I'm able to get to 6k damage, is the vampire stage 2 coming out of stealth. So that's basically it.